Good evening and welcome to the 1980 USA vs. Soviet Union hockey teams. This is a much anticipated game and we couldn't be more excited. I'm happy to be your sports reporter all the way here from Lake Placid. Here today we have two huge rivalries. Sitting to my left is Vlasidy Vidividi, the goaltender for the Soviet Union. And sitting to my right is Mike Urzione, who scored the game-winning goal last period. Some may think that this game is just an old hockey game, but it is more than that. This game is seen as just as important as politics. Due to the long-lasting rivalry between the U.S. and the USSR over the past 33 years, this game is a big determining factor in who is seen as the big dog in this fight. Many of you may be wondering where this whole rivalry started, and most of us can say that it all leads back to the Yalta Conference when Stalin promised the Allies that he would let liberated countries have their own self-elected post-war governments. Post-war, the Soviets broke their promises and made most of Eastern Europe communist puppet governments. Truman met with Stalin and was worried that if he withdrew the army from Europe, that Stalin would reinvade the rest of Europe, making it puppet governments. In the light of these events, Truman created the Truman Doctrine, giving support to any countries that opposed communism and needed aid to fend them off. Now we are going to get the perspective from Vlasidy of this whole rivalry and how his life has been affected by some of these events. Here we go, Vlasidy. Oh.
Ever since I was a little lad, and the Americans and Soviets have been at each other's throats. The Truman Doctrine and space race have only made Soviet life harder, all American induced. The Truman Doctrine has only inspired resistance to our Soviet government in our neighboring countries. The space race has crushed Soviet morale. When it comes to sports in the USSR, we train all day, every day. We barely get to see our families, and since we are technically soldiers, we are treated like soldiers, not athletes. Long, grueling days practicing hockey from the wee hours in the morning to the wee hours of the night. We are undefeated and expect to keep it that way going into this game with the puny USA hockey runts.
Wow, sounds like life is hard over in the USSR. Now please tell me, do you make your own independent salary or is it added to everyone's income and divided equally upon all citizens?
We all make the same amount of money in the USSR. Although it does not motivate people to work as hard, it ensures that no one will go hungry and that everyone will have the same as everyone else.
That's very interesting. Now we will hear from American player Mike Urzione. Mike, how has the Cold War affected your life and how do you feel going into this game?
My name's Jeff. Here in America, we have lived in fear for a long time of long-range nukes from the Soviet pigs for far too long. We would never be in this position if it wasn't for the communist scum pushing their crummy way of life on everyone and creating puppet governments in all the countries that they've forcefully dictated. Going into this game, we are pumped. This is the turning point of this war. We win this game and we will show the rest of the Soviets that we are not the puny little underdog they think we are. We win this game and we win the war.
Well, going into this game, I didn't expect that kind of mentality from you guys. The best of luck to you guys out there. We're all counting on you.